Welcome back for another video. The double game weeks are coming thick and fast, and it's a big one for Game Week 20 with Man City, Man United, Tottenham and Crystal Palace all doubling. In this one we'll cover which players to buy and considerations for the coming game weeks. These are the opportunities to gain big rank, and with more double game weeks expected in the coming weeks, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the most important content of the season. So let's start with the goalkeeper projections, and Edison's top for Game Week 20 predicted 7.8 points. He kept his 7th clean sheet of the season last game week, and despite a drop off in clean sheet consistency, the underlying numbers suggest that Man City have been unlucky. Their 4.04 expected goals conceded over the last 6 matches is top in the league. De Gea has a cheaper route into the double game week, and remarkably he actually has one more clean sheet than Edison over the season. Man United are actually 4th for expected goals conceded over the season, so Ten Hag's had an impressive impact on the defence. These are the other fixtures yet to be rescheduled, 10 in total, and Man United's game against Leeds is here, which might get scheduled as another double game week in the next few weeks, which only adds to Man United asset appeal. Grace is the cheapest double game week keeper, 4.5 mil and projected 6.6 points. They too have another postponement, away to Brighton, which could get rearranged in the next game week or two. We'll talk more about Palace later. Next up, the defender projections, and it's all double game week defenders bar Trippier. Stones is top with 6.4 points. After being such a reliable asset for a long time, Cancelo can no longer be trusted. Very unfortunate with a double game week 20 and double game week 23. Realistically, no Man City defender can be trusted with 100% certainty. That said, Stones has started the last 6 in a row. Ruben Diaz is still out of injury, which is one less player competing for a centre-back spot, but City do have a lot of depth. Ake started 4 of the last 5, playing 90 in all those starts. Shaw's had an impressive resurgence as of late. Since the restart he has more points than any player with 32, Trippier second with 28 and Rashford third on 27. It's not a great double game week for Man United against Man City and Crystal Palace, but he's worth consideration as a more reliable defender than the likes of Stones, Ake and Lewis. Lewis does deserve a mention as well though, only 3.9 mil. Pep's had a lot of praise to give for the youngster recently. It's certainly a gamble. He started in 2 of the last 3, but his minutes being 67, 86 and 45. Akanji's been involved in every game since game week 8, and last game week was the only time he didn't play more than 45 minutes, having been benched, but he was subbed on at half time when City weren't playing particularly well. Perhaps speaks volumes on how Pep rates him, and he is a good option as well. 1 or 2 Man City defenders will start both games, but it's very hard to call. Stones and Akanji probably likeliest. Onto the midfielders, and De Bruyne's top with 9.7 points. One of the most consistent performers alongside Haaland and Kane up until the restart, with 3 blanks in a row since, but he has played 90 in all 3. He was rested in the FA Cup alongside Haaland. Man City do have one more game before Game Week 20, away in the League Cup to Southampton. It's a very tricky part of the season now, but big rank gains to be had if you get it right. This graphic's from Mikhail Tokvam, which speculates the double and blank game weeks to come. There is a chance Liverpool double in Game Week 21, around 55% chance, so if you're going Salah to De Bruyne, make sure you have a plan to reverse it if you need to. Game Week 23 adds to the headache, as you may want to reverse it again to get back to De Bruyne for City's double Game Week 23. It's important to have a flexible team and plan for what may or may not come. Son is projected 8.2 points, but for 11.6 mil, a very expensive punt. If you don't own Rashford or Fernandes, I prefer them to Son. Rashford has returned in his last 3 games with 3 goals and 1 assist in the league. 7 mil is a bargain for the numbers he's putting up, and he's got a double game week as well. His pace will be pivotal in the Man City game as they look to get him behind. Which, going back to the City defence, is one thing which concerns me. It could point towards a Walker start to track Rashford's runs. Zaha's projected 7.7 points. Not a bad option, but it is a tough double game week against Chelsea away and Man United home. He's shown time and again that he can produce returns against any side, but an inconsistent performer, so you have to catch him at the right time. Eze misses out on the projections with 6 points projected, but he's actually on par with points with Zaha over the season and only 5.6 mil. Foden, Grealish and Mahrez are all risky picks for minutes. We've seen all 3 bench plenty this season. Mahrez seems to be Pep's flavour of the month though. He's impressed and he's returned in his last 4 games in all competitions, including an outstanding free kick against Chelsea in the FA Cup. If this video has been useful so far, please drop it a like and subscribe for more important double game week content to come. Onto the forwards, and Haaland's top with 12.6 points projected. The question here is, do we use our triple captainship or not? We saw Haaland put up a 23 pointer against Man United alone earlier in the season. I'm not expecting the same again, but Man United and Spurs will be expected to attack, and they could leave plenty of space in behind for Haaland to exploit with his pace. He does have the double Gameweek 23, home to Villa and away to Arsenal, which is debatably better. If we split Haaland's Gameweek scores into pairs over the season, his points returns are 18, 23, 26, 29, 8, 13, 6 and 19. So go with your gut on this one. He can clearly produce the points in any given game week, especially a fixture pairing. Certainly Man City cannot afford to drop points, so I'd expect him to be nailed for starts, which isn't necessarily the case later in the season. Pep may feel comfortable resting him for the Villa game before a crucial second double Gameweek 23 fixture against Arsenal. And we have seen in past seasons that as teams progress in the Champions League, managers prioritise that over the Premier League, which can cause more rotation. Kane is the other headache this double game week. The most consistent player after Haaland this season, and only trails him by 17 points now. So don't be afraid to take a hit this game week for these double game week assets. The upside can be huge and the hit's likely to be repaid. If you can't stretch to Kane, then Martial for 6.6 mil is a really good looking option, projected 7.5 points. Beyond those top 3 forwards, there's another strikers worth looking at this game week. Mbeumo for 5.8 mil, perhaps worth a mention if you need a budget forward to free up some funds for a premium mid. That wraps up the double game week 20 players to buy video. Please drop it a like and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Lots more content to come this week ahead of the deadline. See you soon for the next one.